There is a moment when a car stops being a machine. It becomes a piece of art, not something you simply drive, something you remember. Now imagine walking into a private underground garage. The lights are almost completely off. One spotlight turns on. You see a long hood, a low roof, a massive body. Then the light moves across the front grille, and you see the letter B. This isn't a Bentley made for everyone. This is the kind of Bentley designed for someone who doesn't ask, "How much does it cost?" They ask, "Can you make it mine?" Welcome to the world of Bentley Mulliner Batur. And today, we're imagining what a 2027 evolution of the Batur could become. Not a normal car review, not a list of specifications. This is the story of what happens when Bentley decides to turn a grand tourer into automotive jewelry. Welcome back to Motor Show Plus. Let's start with the one thing that makes the Batur impossible to confuse with anything else: the face. Forget the traditional Bentley look for a moment. The Batur pushes the design forward. The grille is enormous, but it doesn't feel old-fashioned. It feels architectural, almost like a piece of sculpture placed between two headlights. And those headlights, they aren't simply lights. They look like jewelry, thin, precise, almost mechanical. Imagine the light catching the surface of a silver or steel-inspired body finish. Every curve changes as the car moves. At one angle, the body looks dark. At another, it becomes almost liquid metal. That is the beauty of a hand-finished luxury car. The surface doesn't simply reflect light, it plays with it. Now move around the side. This is where you understand the proportions. Long hood, low cabin, huge wheels, short rear section, and a roofline that makes the entire car look like it's moving, even when it's parked. The Batur isn't trying to look like a practical vehicle. It doesn't need to. It exists for one reason: drama. Imagine opening the door. The handle feels cold against your hand. You pull it. The door opens, and you immediately see something that doesn't look mass-produced. Every surface appears intentional. Every switch, every piece of metal, every stitch. This is where Mulliner matters. Because Mulliner isn't simply another trim level. It's Bentley's world of personalization. A place where the customer isn't just choosing a color, they are creating an identity. Imagine telling Bentley, "I don't want the same car anyone else has." And the answer is, then let's build something nobody else has. Now imagine the cabin. Forget the giant screens dominating modern cars. The Batur could keep technology, but hide it behind craftsmanship. Hand-finished leather, real metal, dark wood, carbon fiber. And perhaps one of the most beautiful details, a rotary control machine from a precious material. You touch it, turn it, and feel the weight. That tiny mechanical sensation, something a touchscreen can never truly reproduce. Now imagine the seats. They're not simply seats. They're sculptures designed around the human body, deeply bolstered, perfectly finished, and surrounded by materials selected specifically for this vehicle. You sit down, the door closes, the outside world disappears, and then silence for a moment. You don't even want to start the engine. You simply look around, because that's what a car like this is supposed to do: make you stop, make you notice. Now, press the start button, and everything changes. The Bentley engine wakes up. A deep mechanical sound fills the garage. Not loud for the sake of being loud, just powerful, mechanical, alive. And that's something the Batur represents beautifully. The final chapter of an era, where enormous engines and hand-built luxury still exist together. Imagine the accelerator being pressed. The car launches forward. The engine delivers its power. The transmission changes gear. The road begins disappearing behind you. But here's the interesting part. The Batur isn't a supercar. It's something more sophisticated, a grand tourer. A machine designed to cross countries at incredible speed, without making the driver feel exhausted. Imagine leaving London in the morning, and arriving somewhere in France later that day. The roads change, the weather changes, the scenery changes, but the Batur remains calm, stable, quiet, confident. That is what grand touring is supposed to be. Now imagine a future 2027 interpretation. What could Bentley change? Perhaps the exterior becomes even more sculptural. The lighting becomes thinner, the aerodynamic surfaces become smarter, the wheels become more intricate, and the cabin receives even more personalization. Imagine Bentley offering an almost unlimited combination of materials: silver metal, black leather, dark green, deep blue, cream, copper, carbon, wood, even sustainable materials. The customer could choose every detail, and the result? Two Batur cars might share the same basic shape, but feel completely different. One could look like a British gentleman's car, another could look like a futuristic spaceship, and another could look like a piece of jewelry. That's the point. This isn't mass production. This is personal design. Now imagine the Batur Night Edition. Black body, dark chrome, smoked lighting, black wheels, and a cabin illuminated only by subtle ambient lighting. No bright colors, no unnecessary decoration, just darkness and metal. Now imagine another, the Batur Heritage Edition. British racing-inspired green, tan leather, polished metal, traditional wood, classic Bentley details, old-world luxury, with modern performance underneath. And here's where I want to challenge you. Which one would you choose? The mysterious Night Edition, or the classic Heritage Edition? Because there is no correct answer. That's the beauty of Mulliner. The customer decides. Now let's talk about something even more important. Exclusivity. A car like this isn't meant to be parked outside a supermarket. It's meant for special moments, a private collection, a weekend drive, a grand European road trip, a car you might keep for decades. Because unlike a normal luxury vehicle, a hand-built special car can become part of its owner's story. Imagine buying one today, and 20 years from now, someone asks, "Why did you choose this one?" You don't say, "Because it had more horsepower." You say, "Because nobody else had mine." And that is the real value of a Mulliner. Not the badge, not the engine, not even the price, the story. Now imagine the Batur driving through a city at night. Streetlights reflect across the body. The grille catches the light. The wheels rotate slowly. People turn their heads, but the driver doesn't care, because this car wasn't designed to impress strangers. It was designed to satisfy one person, its owner, and maybe that's the purest definition of luxury. Now imagine the final scene. A mountain road, sunset. The Batur is parked beside the road. The engine is still warm. The driver steps out. The camera slowly moves around the car. The body reflects the final sunlight. The grille disappears into shadow. The Bentley badge remains visible. Then the camera moves inside. The steering wheel, the metal controls, the handcrafted details. Everything is silent. The driver gets back inside. The engine starts. The headlights illuminate the road, and the Batur disappears into the sunset. The screen turns black. One sentence appears. Some cars are built. A pause. Then another line. Some are created. And finally, Mulliner, now tell me, if you had the money to create your own Batur, what would you choose? Silver steel body or British racing green? Black interior or cream leather? Classic wood or carbon fiber? And here's the biggest question. Would you spend millions on a handcrafted Bentley, or buy several different supercars instead? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know what you would build. Because the Batur isn't really about horsepower. It's about imagination, it's about craftsmanship, and it's about creating something that cannot simply be ordered from a normal showroom. This is Motor Show Plus, where we don't just look at cars, we imagine the stories behind them. And remember, when money can buy almost anything, the rarest thing you can own is something nobody else has.